question well is so important is the AP test writers are just too good at coming up with new questions. So you'll never succeed by just saying, show me another one. You can't. There's never another one that's like it. It's always different. But if you get really good at questioning and focusing on concepts, you can learn anything. So, look, you were here yesterday, you already made this flash, well, I can't remember which session you made it in, but some of you will have already made this flashcard. Those who have not need to make it right now. It's the strangest flashcard I ever asked you to make. It looks like this. Whenever they ask you to find a constant, so one side of the card is going to say find a constant. The other side of the card is going to be a reminder that when that happens, you're actually supposed to ignore the constant. You're supposed to say, they asked me to find, in number 2, they asked you to find k. So your first reaction is going to be, I am not going to go looking for k. That has to be your first reaction. I am not going to go looking for k.
Wait, will you go back?
Uh-huh. So the flashcard says, on one side, it says find a constant. You flip it over, it says ignore the constant. For those that weren't here yesterday, one of the rules for the retake is you must have a flashcard deck. My philosophy is, Bronwyn will back me up on this thing, 5 points for Bronwyn. Okay. Bronwyn knows me well enough to know, like I think you know me well enough to know, that what I'm about to say is not meant to be cruel or inhumane or mean, okay? But, look, all of you just spent 5 weeks preparing for a test. You didn't score as well as you or I wanted you to score. That means you need to prepare differently. Don't go preparing the same way again. You'll get the same result. Do something different. So you must have a flashcard deck or I will not let you retake the test. Like I'm going to walk in and say, show me your flashcard. Okay?
Wait, what does somehow your constant mean?
Oh, that's funny. Maggie said, Mr. Smith, your card makes no sense. And Maggie is correct. 3 points. I got kind of excited when I was ranting and raving up here in front of the room. Look, we ignore the constant. We try to do something we've done before. We just ignore the constant. Do something we've done before. Somehow we'll find the constant. Yeah. It was interesting English because what I was doing, Maggie, is I was turning the word constant into a verb. Somehow you'll constant, meaning you'll find it. That doesn't come out funny at all, but whatever. Question? Please.
How do you ignore the constant? Like, how do you go about not ignoring?
3 points for Ella. 3 points for Ella. Here's how I do it, and here's how it relates to Keone's question. The question says, F is defined above. First of all, please ignore the formulas. Like, don't spend a lot of time trying to understand the formula. I don't find it productive. So I just read F's above, fine, whatever. For what value of K? Right there, Ella. 2 more points for Ella. I say I'm not going to think about K. Is F continuous? That's what I'm going to think about. I am going to ignore K. With me so far?
Yeah.
Brendan Ashcraft, please come to the attendance office.
Okay. So now, back to Keone's question, I have to go back to my white reference sheet. And you need to make some flashcards out of this thing. This has really key data on it. What I noticed first, Keone, is this. 2 more for her. I am not going to have this happening right here. I'm not going to find an x that will give me a y that's 0 over 0. I am not going to find an x that will give me a y that's number over 0. Because the freaking, I don't say that word very nicely. That makes no difference. Sorry. This equation has no way to have a denominator of 0. You need me to talk more about that. So I don't have to worry about that. So I need to worry about jumps and the other kind of removables. So I got to go back to my reference sheet. And remember this right here.
What do you mean the other kind of removable?
Oh, there are two kinds of removables that we studied. So Ella's question, oh yes. Ella's question was, what do you mean by the other kind of removable? We had homework problems. Hey, if it will help for me to go back and show you the homework problems, just bring me your 3-ring binder and I'll show you what you did. It helps your memory. We had problems where you found removables that were caused by x coordinates that produce y of 0 over 0. But we had other problems that were piecewise functions. And what happened was we would check for a jump first, right here. We observe there is no jump because the left and right limits are the same. Then we would check and say, okay, left and right limits are the same, but oh, wait a minute. The overall limit is not the same as the function's value. That's the other type of removable. Okay? So, go back to here. 3 points for Ella.
Which one?
Oh, sorry. Bailey. Randall can take 3 as well. Whatever. Okay. It's good name practice for me. So again, don't do this in your head. You should be writing it down. You should be saying, okay, the limit as x approaches 2 from the left of f. No one talk, please. Raise your hand. What is it? Come on, think with me. I'm biased because it's my class, but I really believe there is no class at this school that will prepare you better for college than this one. There is no class that will prepare you better than this one. If you don't believe me, talk to your siblings who've taken this class and gone on to college. What goes here? Come on. What's the limit as x approaches 2 from the left? It doesn't prepare you for college because you're going to take another calculus class. It teaches you how to think, how to learn. Hands. Let's go, Sammy.
7.
So let's see.
Well, you plug in.
You're fine, Sammy. You're fine. I'm checking it myself. You're good. I didn't know the answer. I've done this problem. Okay, it's what I try to prove to all of you. I don't do the problems from memory. I've done this problem 80 times in the last 15 years. I don't memorize any of it. I just learn the concepts and then I apply them. If x is slightly less than 2, I've got to look here. So I have to use this formula. Please raise your hand if you agree with Sammy. Hands, come on. We got 7. Hey, what the heck? 7 points, 8%. I'm the worst extra credit giver out in the whole school. Oh, I'm sorry. Then we try the right-hand limit. Points for Ella Bailey for a good comment. Hands up. What is it? Come on. What's that one? What is that limit?
How do you know the limit? How are you doing it?
You have to go back and remember what limit means. So limit means when we have this x coordinate, what is the value of this going to be? Well, here's my formula for finding values of f given different values of x. So the value of x I'm picking is a little bit bigger than 2. So it has to go here. So it has to be this formula. 2 more for Ella. So what goes here? Come on. Let's go, sorry. Tight. Well, I disagree. 3 points though. This is not 7. Like, what is that limit? Sydney.
Oh, it's 2k plus 1.
There we go.
Also, how did you get 7?
I don't know. I didn't. Somebody else. Y'all got 7. I didn't get 7.
How do you do that?
Right. Come on, focus, focus, focus. How many? Hey, be honest. Don't ever take points if you're not honest. Hands up. Who was prepared to say that? 2 points, 3, 4. Shoot, just lost track of where I called them.
Oh, I I mixed them up.
Sydney, sorry, Sydney. We good so far? Look, I hope I'm answering Ella Randall's question of, I have not paid any attention to K. I'm doing familiar things and I will find K, but you just kind of stumble across this thing.
So after you found all the those limits, you go back to that it's continuous, so then they have to equal each other? And that's how you find K?
Mhm.
So then you do 7 equals 2k plus 1.
Okay, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, hey, let me say back what Megan said for the video. Again, that's what they're testing you on. Look, come on. Too many people think, well, that's easy, I can do that again. Who cares? They're not going to ask you this again. Okay? You got to focus on the concept. Don't talk. You got to focus on the concept. Concept is exactly what Megan said. I find the left and right limits because I know that if the function is going to be continuous, the left and right limits must match. That's why Ian was right. Okay. Tyler sits by Ian, so.
Hey, at least so far you haven't done a thing to me, which is you immediately told the whole class my test score and called me the wrong name 3 times.
I paid you for that.
You did pay me for that. That's what I'm saying. You're getting better. You're doing better.
Thank you. Please, Abby.
Okay, why do they have to equal each other? I don't know if that's what you're saying or not.
Yes, you're good. Abby's, you're good, Maggie, don't worry. You're fine. Abby's question was, why must they be equal? That goes back to the reference sheet. A function is only continuous if the left limit is exactly the same as the right limit and exactly the same as the value of the function. Thanks, guys.
It's only continuous if everything equals each other.
Yep. Please.
Can you explain the rest of how to find a constant?
Yeah, are you good to hear?
Yeah.
Okay, so once you get to here, Jonah, you have to remember the definition I was showing a moment ago, which is you have to, okay, this happens all the time on AP questions. Everybody, come on. Trying to get good at solving complex problems. It'll help you immensely in the future. When you solve a complex problem, you don't do it step 1, step 2, step 3. That's what you do when you follow a recipe, okay? Anybody can follow a recipe. Like solving a complex problem means, hey, I figured this out. Now I stop and I look at the problem again and go, what do I know now? Well, I know the left and right limits. Well, how does that help? That's where you have to go back to here, Joan, and say, oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be figuring out when f is continuous. And I have to remember this flashcard. A function is continuous at x equal 2 only if the limit as x approaches 2 from the left is exactly the same as the limit as x approaches 2 from the right. So that led me to notice that, oh, wait a minute, 7 must equal, this is why Ty said 7, so he wasn't really wrong, I just wanted to be thinking a little bit differently. 7 must equal 2k plus 1. And you're like, oh, damn, 3, that worked. So I ignore k. Does that make sense? It'll make more sense the more we do them, Ella, because you'll see other examples where I'll do the same thing again. Please.
So, Boo, what about the magical number 2 removable, where like if they don't equal, how do we make sure that that's true? Because we don't have the answer for like what it is exactly at that moment.
3
Oh, wait,
points?
yes, we do.
There we go.
Because x equals 2, so we use that same equation. We have that at 7, and then we can. Why would you do that? Did I die? Did a train run me over and I like disassociated so bad I'm mixing it all up?
Perfect.
Brennan
I
Ashcraft.
have to demonstrate once in a while that Despite the fact that Mr. Reddy is a way more enthusiastic person than me, if I start saying the right things, I can get very excited. Let's pause for a second. Okay. Any other questions on this problem? Okay, we have to switch trips now for the second group, so good job. Good work.